I was home alone with my dog. It was around midnight, and I decided to let him outside one last time before going to bed. I opened the front door and he went off running out into the night. I then closed and locked it while I went to go get ready for bed. This was pretty routine. After using the bathroom, he usually liked to walk around for a few minutes before coming back inside. As I was walking back downstairs, I could hear scratching on the door. This was how my dog would let me know he was ready to be let back inside. So I headed over to open the door. I don't know why, but ever since I was young, I've always had the habit of looking through the doors people before opening it, like it doesn't matter the situation. I can't open the door without knowing 100 who it is. I do this, and instead of seeing my dog, I see a man with his head down staring very intently at the door handle. I froze with my eyes still glued to the peephole. I then heard the scratching again, louder this time. It was the man. I could see his hands moving up and down against the door. He was pretending to be my dog to get me to open the door. I was worried for my dog's safety. I wanted to call the police, but I didn't think they would take me seriously. I tried taking a picture of the man with my phone, knowing I could at least make a report. But my camera couldn't take pictures. To the people, it was too small. You couldn't make out anything behind the glass. All of a sudden, the man lifts up his shirt and pulls out a knife. He begins trying to pick the door's lock. This went on for maybe a minute when my dog finally noticed him and started barking. Now, my dog isn't that big. He's actually pretty small. But he has a deep-sounding bark that mixed with the fact that it was dark, and the man likely couldn't see my dog was enough to startle him into running off. My dog retook his place at the front door, to which I quickly opened it and let him back in. It's been a while since this happened, and I've since moved to a new house. I did end up filing a police report, but they weren't able to come up with any suspects. I'm currently living in my car after being put in a poor financial situation because of some circumstances that I won't mention. I've gone on outdoor runs ever since. I can remember it was around 6:00 p.m. one night in the summer. I just finished eating a light dinner and, as usual, decided to go on a run. I always run the same path, neighborhood sidewalks for about 1-2 miles, then past the gate into the forest where I run another 2 miles. Now the forest I ran and has 2 separate paths, one paved and one not. The unpaved one is more scenic, so I usually take it on the way in. I'll then take the paved path. When I turn around and start heading back, the paths into the forest are a bit hidden. I don't think many people know about them, so they're usually not that busy. It's actually kind of rare for me to see another person on my run. But of course, every once in a while, I'll meet some people walking their dog or something. But other than that, I'm pretty much alone. Well, at least I thought I was. I've been running in the forest for a while now when I heard a notification coming from my phone. It wasn't a text message, rather an airdrop notification. I could tell from the sound. I panicked. Clearly someone had to have been close to me to send this. I tried to play it off like I didn't hear it and kept running for a few seconds. I then stopped to change the music. In reality, I was pulling out my phone to look at the notification. I clicked on it, and my heart sank. It was a Snapchat picture of me mid-run with the caption, "Come back." Clearly, it was taken just seconds ago. I was wearing the same clothes in the picture and everything from where the picture was taken. It looked like the person was hiding in the bushes. I put my phone back and started running as fast as I could. I was forced to take the long way out of the forest, back to my neighborhood. As I was running, I started hearing rustling and footsteps behind me. When I didn't turn back, knowing it would slow me down, I finally reached the edge of the forest. I began running through backyards to lose whoever was chasing me. It worked. The last thing I could hear being metal hitting metal, suggesting he or she had some sort of weapon. I still don't know who it was, as like I said, I never looked behind me. I don't even have the slightest clue what they looked like. I don't know what they wanted from me. I never ran in that forest again, and I've since turned off my phone's airdrop completely. My brother-in-law and I were on a road trip across the country. We were driving on a remote highway in New Mexico. I'm talking one rest stop or gas station about every 100 miles. Every one of them being solitary with no other buildings in sight. By this point, it was already dark. We would take turns driving 4-hour shifts until about 1, 0 or 2, 0 or 2, 0 am. Then we would stop at a rest stop to sleep. It was a bit past midnight, and with rest stops being as rare as they were, we both agreed to stop for the night and the next one we saw. Another hour passed when we finally saw one. We took the exit, and sure enough, there was your typical middle of nowhere rest stop. There was one other car parked in front of the doors, off to the side. We got out to go to the bathroom and walked up to the double doors, each of us grabbing a door handle. The doors were locked. I turned and looked around to see if there was a sign explaining why. I mean, the lights were on inside. It didn't look closed. I cupped my hands to the door and further surveyed the inside. That's when I saw it. There was a splash of bright red on what I assume was a closet door near the back. I suddenly realized that I was looking at a huge streak of blood. From the color alone, I could tell it wasn't dry. I froze up. My brother-in-law began banging on the door, trying to get someone's attention. I stopped him and pointed out the blood on the wall. I could see the color disappear from his face as he noticed it. We both turned to leave as we were getting back inside our car. I took a better look at the other car in the parking lot. It had no plates. It had multiple dents, and there was an empty gun rack in the back window of it. We pulled out, and as we were driving off, I saw the door to the rest stop start opening. I didn't really see anyone though. We pulled away before anyone actually came out. We weren't able to call the police for at least a couple hours. We had no service. When we finally did, they assured us they'd inspect the place. Days later, I called the sheriff's department in the county where we stopped that night, asking about what happened or what they found. They told me they'd search the records and call me back with what came up. As far as I know, I never received a call back.